Check ça. If I told you how I came this far, nation undivided and in faith to defend where the time to where there's hope for us all.
Celebrate the achievement. May I especially welcome for him. So, may I also specially welcome.
Of course, to that state, we are honorable appreciate one who, by good heart and a great president, the former governor of Constance, the distinguished senator, I then welcome the representative of our royal father of the day, the welcome. Please hold your hands together.
Welcome us to the Legacy Dialogue 2.0, proudly hosted by the Johnny Agimesi.
Membership is the pillar that nourishes young minds, blending decisions written across the country and the nation. It also touches on arbitration and public service. It's not merely a gathering, it is a courtroom of ideas, where experience meets ambition and knowledge, ensuring that every young advocate has a guide, a mentor, and a vision to represent. Ladies and gentlemen, once again I say, welcome to the Legacy Nigeria and to take the national anthem to commence. We are all going to take the national anthem, please. Former Nigeria in the very progress, holding key positions in the unity bar, where he contributed difference, his spread, his sits on boardrooms as lead voters council and Congress. I have to look at what's possible. I think when I don't think that judges and courts worked very hard to make life easy for the voter to the rank of a senior advocate. By the time I look up, how do I do thinking outside that?
Actually appreciate Otoro. Please put your hands together for him. Thank you very much. Those members who have taken time to be here to town, they come in. May I especially welcome the Honorable
and to welcome you to this essay. Who this morning, Mr. Steve Emeleze. The Obong of Calabar, ably led by Chief Kano Agabi SAN, of the press, tagged Legacy Dialogue to this preparing young generation of lawyers for excellence. One of the veritable tools in achieving that goal, by bringing together tools in achieving that goal, by bringing together pivotal role of strategic sponsorship and mentorship framework for advancing for us to meet our targets number of 30. But for brevity of time, permit me to specially at this event. The last time we spoke, you just told me, Johnny, don't worry, who incidentally is the chairman of our board of trustees. Please, let's give him a round of applause. Inaugural launch. Let us not just dream change. So please join us on this journey as we work towards building.
But may I especially appreciate Director General Shehu, also Mr. Henry Emore, Director Legal Services. We have also appreciate all our magistrates who are here. We have also Magistrate Amut and Magistrates Balami Jan, especially give them seats. That's why you see some vacant seats, but there are many of them use Latin to ask their wives out, even during law school. We have a lady here who is a journalist of Reveal Media and a visionary founder of watched and seen on screens across Africa. Her pen has stared height and death. Love, Nika Wilson. Can we play it? Thank you. Please give her another round of applause.
Address the lords of the law. Please sound help me. Thank you. Okay. Convicted. How can a mortal like me I bring before time in Nigerian's temple of justice, dreams, looking for direction, not just inscribed on plaques. And so we must build bridges. Jasan, we must build bridges. Jasan foundation was built. Through it. A citadel a citadel where so I tender. Let mentorship become a system, not story. Let it be story. Let it be policy, not poetry. Policy, not poetry. May young lawyers find a hand to hold, a light to follow, a standard to uphold, a light to follow, a standard to uphold from Lagos. And when the scales of justice balance, let me again build. Let me again builds in Nigeria where my case. Thank you. Where my case. Thank you.
I didn't know that you will temper justice. I didn't know that you will temper justice with mercy. May I especially appreciate Abubakar Said teaches.
Institutionalizing. So may I take... I am struck by how many institutions shape just one lawyer. From the universities, to Nigerian law school, to the bar, to the bench, to the body of benchers, to the Ministry of Justice, and so on. Mentorship lives within all of these bodies, yet not one of these bodies is holding full custody. To institutionalize mentorship, we must first understand where does it already exist and where has it faded away, and take full responsibility for its continuity. I have encountered lawyers who are technically adept, fluent in digital research, persuasive in speech and in writing, yet lacking the delicate balance of judgment. They can find their authorities, but they cannot find their priorities. Isn't it important that we then design a structure? The judicial report. The consequences of all of these gaps extends to the bench as well. I'm not excluding us. A poorly mentored bar eventually will produce a fragile bench. Take it or leave it. A poorly mentored bar will produce a fragile bench. Judges emerge from the same pool and ranks of practitioners. The mentorship that fails in chambers will eventually enter the courtrooms. The same gap in discipline, in writing, in empathy that we tolerate today at the bar will create systemic courtroom deficiency tomorrow. The chain is continuous. In conclusion, therefore, I propose a National Mentorship Council, jointly owned, clap. It took me hours to come up with that. I propose a National Mentorship Council, jointly owned by all the stakeholders, from the universities to the Nigerian Law School to the body of benchers, up to the grand stage of the NBA and the judiciary and the National Judicial Institute, and perhaps the National Judicial Council. On a lighter note, a strange idea flowed through my mind this morning as I was rounding up this scheme. And I said, why don't we design a contraption that is akin to what is practiced in the Catholic Church, where young married couples are given older married couples as what they call sponsors. Yes, sponsors. So these sponsors will hold their arms, help them to build sustainable handrails through the vicissitudes of marriage. But then I perished that thought, because no one is looking for wedding bells here. We are just looking for the bells of professionalism to be rung well. So, it benefits no one that our institutions should operate in silos. We should have a national mentorship council. And because of that, I would refer you to a book that I wrote. I wrote a book. Clap for me. I don't have the copy here, but Mr. Agim will do justice to that copy. And there in that book, I outlined what the life cycle of a living system should be, from governance all to the end structure of sustainability. It will help those who are policy formulators here. It will help those who are policy formulators here. Are they bending their heads, or they are raising their heads? I am looking at somebody. I'm not looking at His Excellency, but I am saying it will help those who are policy formulators and executors here. Is the minister looking up or looking down? Help me find out. Help me find out. Okay. Today is a clarion call to pay attention. Pay attention. A profession that fails to pay attention to the guidance of the younger generation will produce a generation of technically qualified lawyers, but disengaged from the spirit of the profession. Lawyers who know the rules, but who no longer believe in the calling. Restoring mentorship, therefore, begins with restoring dignity, and dignity has a cost. The cost is attention. Pay attention. As I round up, I say, may our profession never lack wisdom, nor our generation lack guides. To every mentor whose professional light has made the way clearer, may you continue to shine brighter. May our path be illuminated. And to every mentee who is still willing to learn and to grow, may your path also be built. So the Jason Foundation Initiative, may you become an eternal excellency and a joy of many generations. May star shines from your loins. And now to everyone here seated, may you become shining lights in our profession. Therefore, I thank you all for your attention. Thank you.
Please put your hands together properly for her. Thank you very much. I see everyone in front nodding and saying that was beautiful. Please put your hands together for her. They say what a man can do, a woman can do later. Sorry, better. All right, thank you very much. Please, another round of applause to celebrate her. I don't know why it's hard to clap here. But let me tell you about her. About 6 months ago, I was in Lagos as MC, and she was a guest speaker at that event. When I introduced her, some people clapped, others refused to clap. Last month, when I went back to Lagos, I noticed that all those who refused to clap for her, all of them had weight low. Can we clap properly for her now? So there's something I want us to do. If we love this man, I'll ask us to check our phones. I went to his Facebook page, Jassam Foundation Facebook page, searched for it. There was a picture of him, a very fine picture he posted on January 1, and it has only 3 likes. So let's go to Facebook now. Please check your phones. Go to Facebook and go to Jassam Foundation and let's like that picture. If we like that picture today, it will trend on Facebook. Please, let's clap for him. You cannot snap that kind of fine picture and have only 3 likes. Please, Jasan Foundation is on Facebook. Who has seen it at the back? You need data actually to access Facebook. Hello. I will count by the end of today to see how many more we have. I think Milord talked about mentorship. And I have seen a lot of young lawyers who are on their own without mentorship. Some of them have office, some of them don't. I met one the other day in front of CSC. He was talking to himself. And I walked to him and said, brother, why are you talking to yourself? He said, please, if you see me walking and I'm talking to myself, just leave me alone. I said, what's the problem? He said, I'm self-employed and right now we are doing staff meeting. So it's very possible if you see another one, he may be doing Zoom meeting. So we are working. And I also want us to specially celebrate all the women in the house. Please put your hands together for them. I learned to live after marriage. A judge told me once, he said, temptation, the greatest temptation on this job is not money or women. I said, sir, what is the greatest temptation? He said, have you ever tried frying plantain first before you cook the rice? The women will relate. It's not easy. Then he said, if you can overcome that temptation in the kitchen, nobody will bribe you in this life. You will overcome it. But women everywhere are celebrated. The woman once at her husband's funeral was smiling. And somebody asked her, what's the problem? He said, at least for the first time in my whole life, I know where he's going to. I have lived with him 25 years. Every time he tells me he's going somewhere, I'm not sure where he's going. But she had a problem because a few days before the man died, the man was a very wealthy man, and he told her, I said, please, put all my money into my casket. I want to be buried with all the money I have. And the woman did just that. She came with a small box on the funeral, and she brought it. And her friend asked her, said, Madam, you mean you want to honor your husband's wish? She said, yes, she's my husband. She said, but your husband is very rich. How come all his money fits into this small box? And she said, look, I went to all his banks. I withdrew all his money, and I put them in my own account. And inside this small box, I've written him a check for all the monies. If he goes down there and he can find a bank, let him cash the money. We'll be taking goodwill messages, but first let me take a few recognitions. I want to specially appreciate all the MBA Women Forum members, Abuja chapter particularly. Please clap for them. Thank you very much. We also want to specially welcome and appreciate all members of FIDA Nigeria, Abuja and beyond. Please clap for them. Thank you very much. May I especially welcome the representative of distinguished Senator Jarigwe Agom Jarigwe, representing Cross River North, is represented here by Papa Don Claim in Hands. Please put your hands together for him. I think Papa Don Claim should just stand and wave. A lot of people mistake it for a young man. I will not allow that to happen. Please clap for him. He has worked with every governor in Cross River State and is still looking young. He's also a board member of the Jasan Foundation. Please clap for him. Thank you very much. But I also want to pick out one of the last set of elevated members of the Senior Advocate of Nigeria. There were only two females, and we are lucky to have one of them here with us today. May I especially appreciate Chinyere Monime, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Please put your hands together for her. Please, if this honorable house will agree that move her from where she's seated to the white seat, those who support say aye. The ayes have it. Please put your hands together for her. Please, let's move her up. It's not easy to be a senior advocate. I was at a conference of SANs, and I wrote my name and added SAN. And somebody said, are you even a lawyer? I said, I'm a small one. I said, why did you add SAN? I said, right now I work in a radio station. I'm a senior announcer of Nigeria. So just leave it at that. So we'll take a few more. I have the resident pastor of the House on the Rock, Abuja, where our own, permit me to add, Pastor Johnny Agim is a member. Let's welcome Pastor Uche Aibi. Please put your hands together for him. So we'll take a few of the goodwill messages, and it's important that we take them based on hierarchy. May I welcome my Lord, Honorable Justice Emmanuel Agim, Justice of the Supreme Court, to take the first shot. Please put your hands together for him. Can we clap for him properly, please? It's not easy to bring both your royal father, your former governor, and my Lord in the Supreme Court. Please clap for him.
Thank you very much. Which one? The heads of courts here present, the former governor of Cross River State, Professor Benedict Ayade, the Minister for Labor, distinguished senior advocates here present, His Royal Highness, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I had mentioned to Johnny Agim, SAN, that let me say something because I have so many engagements. I have to leave at some point. I consider this one of priority. That's why I came here first. I thank him for this noble initiative. He's so passionate about it. And that is very commendable. Because your life is worth nothing if you are not contributing to improving other people's lives. That is why God created you, to improve other people's lives, to add value to other people's lives. So you must select one way of endeavor to do that. If you do not have the means, you could do that through your area of daily engagement. Maybe as a cleaner, a clerk, housewife, or something else. Whichever way we can, we should focus on improving the value of other people's lives, always. And that adds up to improving the well-being of our community in larger measure. We should focus on this. That is when our worship of God can be true. I've had a very brilliant exposure this morning from Justice Marble. I'm meeting her today for the first time. Maybe I've come across her before, but today I met her properly. I'm very, very impressed with what I heard. What she has put together looks so simple, but it's a very difficult area. But she made it look very simple. I commend that thing should be put together and circulated as a pamphlet or some book for young lawyers and even all of us. Thank you very much for that excellent work. The highest distinction of knowledge is to reduce very complex and difficult things into very simple terms. That's when you know that the person is highly knowledgeable. And that's what she has done. a grotesque, complex area of law that few people can hardly put together, even the great practitioners. She's done a perfect job of it, reducing it to something that people can copy. Thank you very much. I commend you so much for that sacrifice. We are mentoring people. What kind of mentoring are we giving them? And who are those who need this mentoring? Is it those who have just come into the profession? Or those of us who are still there? Who really needs mentoring? We all need mentoring. It's a continuous process. But essentially, with all the privileges I've enjoyed from God to witness the profession in so many areas, I have helped in producing over 50 very sound lawyers. Trained law students in universities, in law schools, trained judges, trained magistrates. I have seen so much in the profession. Assessor of legal systems, where you want to know how a legal system is functioning, what are the indicators, what are the signs that it is really efficient. How do you assess that? At least I was privileged to be one of the few people that are acknowledged and called from time to time. Then we look at our legal system. Where is the problem? Looking at it carefully, what I see is a group of very hard-working people, both lawyers and judges, but heavily misunderstood by the society. More particularly, the judges. And you begin to ask, what is the correct law? Simple question. We used to answer it easily in those days. I stayed in my chambers as a lawyer. I'm briefed by a client. After listening to the client, I can predict what will happen in court. And when you will be surprised if the other counsel should be disputing a clear-cut case like that. The law is settled, the law is clear, you understand it. But today, yeah, the law is an ass. This and that. I said, no, we have a problem. The problem is lack of character. We lack character. You go to court to win, not to do justice. They want winning, they don't want justice. So if you lost, the judge took bribe. The one who won will say, the court is the last hope of the common man. So the day the Rama wins, the court is the last hope of the common man, the Daniel has come to judgment. Then the day he loses, they took bribe. And they took bribe has become too much. That is not how to disrepute your national institution. Make it look as if it is manned by scoundrels. Even Motor Park House, I give him better image. As if the over 2, 3, 4, 5,000 cases the courts do in a period are all about collecting bribes. What a terrible way to treat your national institution. Then I hear, oh, in Ghana, in this, I have worked in many places. I have sat in Supreme Courts with justices from several jurisdictions. Nigeria is outstanding. If 3 years ago, about 6 years ago, I was in South Africa for African Judges Forum for the improvement of judicial electoral process. And we brought experiences to bear from country to country. When I finished speaking, it was glaring that they all had to bow and say, yes, Nigeria is miles ahead. Because the principles our electoral law focus on and espouse were strange to some of the others. And we brought case law that has showed the dynamism of the system, how it has focused on how the interplay of these things in relation to the practical position. So you don't just have a pack of idiots out to do mischief always. No. Go and this one of the causes of this problem is lack of readership. Readership. In your mentoring program, please include it. A lot of people don't read again. They will hold a judgment in their hand and will be telling lies. They will not read the judgment. They will prefer to run a different narrative from what is contained in the judgment. Even us, very senior lawyers in the profession, we are engaged in all those things. It's not right. If you spend time running down your father and your mother, then what do you have left? You don't have anything left. I have delivered over 600 judgments. Hardly can anybody push anyone around. But you can only come to that conclusion when you read the judgment. Then you see the reasoning of the judge, how his mind works. If you don't do that, you will not understand how he came by the decision. And you must give him the benefit of the doubt. So immediately you have a problem. There's an incident in society, you hear people talk on television. When we go to that court, if the judiciary is not corrupt, we will win. I hear that every day. If the judiciary is not corrupt, we will win. Is there any need to go to court again? Since you have already decided the case, that is unfair. These are your brothers and sisters. Poor readership, poor knowledge of law. Today, people are no longer proud about their knowledge of law. In those days, we know those who knew the law. When you are going to court, you say, who is on the other side? You say, counsel B. You say, we are going to have a tough time. We knew each other. Knowing the law was pride. But today, lawyers are no longer proud about knowing the law. They say what they like on television, spew ignorance so gladly and with audacity. Such a shame. So how are we going to mentor these people now? Because my mother taught me something. Whenever she wants me to work very hard, even when I'm wrong, you are doing very well. You are my true son that I like. Then I'll bury my head and be killing myself. Not knowing that I'm just being pushed into. When you praise those who are working for you, they work better. Let me just summarize. For me, it's not what you say that determines how I work. It's my conscience. Because I have a part with God. I should stop wasting time going to Holy Trinity Parish or getting up in the morning or in the night to pray if I don't have conscience. Because God is my strength, my power, my fortress, and refuge. God cannot be that to you when you are engaged in evil. So when I talk like that, a friend of mine will say, but we believe that all of you are members of the cult. It's not so. We are ordinary human beings. Knowledge of law, no society can function if the legal profession has abandoned knowledge of law. So what are you going to propagate in court? You keep quarreling about the truth when the truth is clear. You incite your clients against the court when you are the problem. Knowledge of law is very important. So your mentoring, please. Here's digital procedures, processes. Okay. For knowledge of law, the person is out. Not qualified. At Enugu division, they send us legal assistants. So when I get them, I ask you, which university did you come from? Then I give you a case file. I say, I want a summary of the statement of facts. How long do you want? Say, give me 2 weeks. I say, I give you 2 months. Once you say, give me 2 weeks, I know you are not qualified. 2 months, you come back and say, yes, can I have it? I'll sit there with it, that's okay. Minus 30%. That you didn't score 1%. As a lawyer, she worked with me for 2 years. She didn't score 1%. She had to be transferred. And she's struggling to be a judge. See the society height is struggling. Just Mabel said to me, what are you pushing out? Where is the nursery from which they are coming out? Everybody, PhD, professor. But what is the content? We should focus on knowledge of law. Knowledge of law. In my chamber, you start working with me, I'll take you to the library and say, this is that first line. You will finish reading it in 1 month. I can come anytime and pick any of the reports to discuss with you. After 3 months, if you don't make sure I ask you to go. Without knowledge of law, there's no lawyer. If a lawyer knows his law, it is difficult for him to be unethical. If a judge knows his law, it is very difficult for him to be corrupt. Because what you know accuses you. For ignorance is bliss. I will decide a case. I don't care the millions of people forming public opinion against the truth of the case. I'll go with the truth. Time will vindicate the judgment. And for those who know, when you mentor young lawyers with knowledge, leadership, those two, they come out very strong. They are not afraid of anybody. They just give me a few minutes. I have someone who will tell you so many stories. But please, let me not detain you further. Thank you very much.
Please put your hands together for him. Somebody had asked that why did I give him so much time to speak? I said he didn't even speak for 2 minutes. Please clap for him. He has been described variously, but they call him a jurist, public prosecutor, private legal practitioner, legal writer, judicial trainer, administrator, justice ministry administrator, trainer, Commonwealth crime victim expert, law office manager, and adjunct professor. Please put your hands together for him. When they warned me that he was talking for a long time, I said it's not possible. You cannot have this kind of CV, and people will just tell you that you're talking too much. Member of the board of directors at one time, Cross River State Government owned estates, Secretary Nigerian Bar Association of Abuja branch at one time, Chairman Nigerian Bar Association of Abuja branch, Managing Solicitor and Advocate Veritas Chambers. I don't know whether that is still on, but to be a judge of the Supreme Court, you can have a chamber here and one there. But the Director of Public Prosecution, Ministry of Justice, Republic of Gambia, Judge Advocate General Court Martial of the Gambia, Member Chancery of the Republic of Gambia, Chairman National Court, Council of Law Reporting for the Gambia, Acting Chief Justice, Republic of the Gambia during a brief absence of the then Chief Justice, President Court of Appeal of the Republic of the Gambia, Acting Justice of the Supreme Court of the Gambia, Chairman Justice Service Commission of the Gambia, Chairman Legal Capacity Building Program Board for the Gambia, Member ECOWAS Council of the Chief Justice, Chairman General Law Council, Judge of the Supreme Court of the Gambia, Chief Judge, Republic of the Gambia, and now Justice of the Supreme Court. Please put your hands together. Thank you very much. We are honored to have you. And who am I to stop you from saying your mind? So even if you want to come back and continue, I'll allow you. Please let's clap for him. And so, we have, there's a line I took from his message, and that kind of corrects the mistake I got my first day in law school. And they told me, from where I came, we have a lot of land cases. So they told me, they said, if you finish law school, you come and represent the family in our land case. So wait for you to finish. And my father then told me, said, for you to win these land cases, you either be a good lawyer or a great lawyer. And I said, Daddy, what's the difference? He said, a good lawyer knows the law. A great lawyer knows the judge. Either way, you win the case. Well, but that has been corrected now, sir. I need good knowledge of law, and that alone I will pursue. Thank you very much, sir, for that advice. We'll take more messages of goodwill. This time we'll go to the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court. Let's welcome the Representative Honorable Justice John Tain Baso, OFR, was represented by my Lord Honorable Justice A.O. Abuatu. Please put your hands together for him.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. May I start by thanking the organizers for this opportunity of inviting my CJ, who found me worthy to come and represent him. But I must say, having listened to my elder brother, Honorable Justice Bello, Sheikh Bello, and of course, the learned jurist, Honorable Justice Manuel Agim, on what he spoke about mentorship. I just hope I will see some form of applause when I deliver the few I have even to, Indeed, I was very impressed when I read the profile of the Johnny Johnson Foundation and what they are for. It is indeed a very novel area. It's innovative. And it is not easy, actually, to think of having a foundation which you now use to mentor people. Mentorship is not easy. It's not something that you preach to people and then they will mentor. No. It's just like being a Christian and you say the Bible people read, it is you. So if you want people to actually be Christ-like, or to be Christian, it is your attitude in all ramifications. The way you dress, the way you talk, the way you react to people, and even your patience when you are tempted or when you are being angered by people. It sends a strong message that nobody can read on the pages of newspaper or books. I was really impressed and I am happy I was here today listening to Honorable Justice Manuel Agim. He's one of those justices that I enjoy reading their judgments. Both when he was at the Court of Appeal and even at the Supreme Court. Actually, I would say so because when you read the reasoning, sit down and read, do your research, you find a way to navigate that naughty issue that is bothering you. That is mentorship. Even without meeting him, it is mentorship. And like I used to say, when you are in a position of authority or when you are leading people, let them learn one or two things from you. From the day I was called to Nigeria, I made up my mind I was going to practice, and practice I did. From the first day until I got to the bench in 2018. And I enjoyed practice. When we talk about meeting people and making people to mentor you, I enjoyed it in Lagos. I remember the day our chambers was face-to-face with Rotimi Williams. In fact, I can't even remember whether I took anything down. I was just admiring the man, the way he talked, the way he presented his cases. It's mentorship. And when he comes to court, you will see lots of books that he comes to court with. In fact, you will be intimidated whether you have even done any research yourself. So I see, I enjoy when I face Mr. Falala in those days in court, I enjoy the way he does his own presentations. He will be smiling, he will be demonstrating. And if you are not confident, if you have not done any homework, you will think you have lost that case. I tell you, these are great minds, these are great lawyers that you have the benefit of walking or watch when they do cases. It is mentorship. You are learning. And when you see lawyers come out from law school, the next year they are already forming their own. You just wonder, what are they? Because theory is different from practice. Whether you like it or not, it's very, very different. Somebody comes and tells you stories. It is now for you to put it down in form of statement of claim or statement of defense. You think it's easy, it is not. It's not something that you just learn by reading your textbooks. Maybe you read Phyllis Mandela on evidence or whatever, you think it's not. It is practice. Even to draft simple motion. it is something that you learn when you understudy great lawyers. And then when you now come to do it effortlessly, people will think it is easy. You know, they say as simple as ABC is when you have learned it. When you were learning it in the you know it's not easy. A, B, C, D to Z. It's not easy. But after you have mastered it, they will now say as simple as A, B, C. Who told you it's easy? It's not easy. And so I really appreciate the foundation, and I have taken something home. At least we as judges, we have staff under us. It is for us to mentor them. Yes. Because they will learn from you. They will remember, when I was with my Oga, this is how he used to do it. This is what he does and all that. And it goes a long way to help us have a rich bench, because like my Lord Shegubelo said, it is what you inculcate in your juniors in chambers that they will take out. Eventually, it is them that might come to the bench, go to the magistracy, or even proceed to the Court of Appeal and ultimately the Supreme Court. But if they don't have that foundation, honestly, something will be lacking. And I want to take home one little jurist said, don't be afraid of accusations when your conscience is clear. He said, when you don't know the law, that is when you will be afraid. But when you know the law and put it down, when you are faced with intricate cases, you will never be afraid of anything. Thank you so much for having me. And these thoughts are mine, and not the thought of my CJ who sent me to represent him, because there was no speech prepared. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I think we can appreciate him with another round of applause. Well, may I especially appreciate and welcome from Oakfield Consulting Chambers, Echo HMB Echo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Please put your hands together for him. We're taking more goodwill messages. However, may I especially appreciate our board members. We have Chief Senator Kanu G. Agabi, SAN, CON, who is our board chairman. Please put your hands together for him. We have Madam Edna Agim, who is the vice president. She really doesn't like me introducing her or calling her name. She just likes to walk from behind and support our board. Please put your hands together for her. We have also Honorable Mr. Justice HMB JSC retired. Please put your hands together for him. Put your hands together. Also on our board is Engineer Prince Arthur I. Eze, OFR, is a member. We have also Barrister Mrs. Zainab H. B.O. Ibrahim, is a member. Please put your hands together for her. We have Mr. Femi Falana, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Please appreciate him also. We have His Royal Majesty Dr. Barrister Etim Edetokun, is a member. Please put your hands together for him. Also on our board is Mrs. Constance Nwokejobi, FCA member. Please put your hands together. And distinguished Senator Sadiq Suleiman Umar, also a member. May I also ask Dr. Don Claims E. Enam Esquire. Please put your hands together for him. He is the secretary of the board. Remember today, is not only our board secretary, but is also representing a distinguished senator. So today, it's not just the secretary, it's also a higher member that our president will have to bow to, because if you go home, your senatorial district, they can collect your voter's card. So you need to relate with him well. Well, thank you very much. Please put your hands together for him. Up next, we'll take a goodwill message. This time we'll go to the Chief Judge of the FCT High Court, Lord Honorable Justice Hussein Baba Yusuf, who's represented by Lord Honorable Justice S.C. Orji. Please put your hands together.
He doesn't know the name of one of the ancestors. It's already instead. All right. My Lord, Honorable Justice Emmanuel Eagim, JSC, the quintessential jurist. My Lord, Honorable Justice AJMBA, JSC, retired, our keynote speaker, represented by my Lord and my dear sister, Honorable Justice Mabel Tishe, Your Excellency, Professor Benaya, former Governor of Cross River State, my Lord, the Honorable Chief Judge of the Federal High Court of Nigeria, ably represented by my brother, Egwatu, my Lord, the Honorable President of the National Industrial Court of Nigeria, my brother judges present at this event, Honorable Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Chairman of ICPC, ably represented by Director of Legal Services, founder and president of Johnny Agim SAN Foundation, distinguished members of the Board of Trustees of the Foundation, Director General Nigerian Law School, and other heads of government institutions here present, Honorable Attorney General of Ondo State, President of the Nigerian Bar Association, our dear Royal Father, senior advocates of Nigeria, captains of industries, members of the various branches of MBA, Deputy Chief Registrars and Directors of the FCT Judiciary, Your Worships, amiable learned magistrates of the FCT Judiciary and other jurisdictions here present, my learned friends, members of the bar, I most especially at this event recognize the major beneficiaries of Jasan Foundation, my learned friends in equity, the future leaders of the legal profession, the students of the Nigerian Law School and law students here present, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. His Lordship, the Honorable Chief Judge of the Federal Capital Territory, my Lord and brother, Honorable Justice Hussein Baba Yusuf, is unavoidably absent and he has excused, given his reason for his absence to the President and founder of the foundation. But I need to publicly apologize for his absence. He has another engagement which requires his personal presence. His Lordship has therefore directed me to represent him at this event. I will read my Lord's address, not an address now, goodwill message. And if you permit me, just say one or two words of my own. Now, on behalf of the FCT High Court, I extend warm greetings to the board and management of Johnny Agim Foundation for putting together this year's edition of Legacy Dialogues on the theme Institutionalization of Mentorship in the Legal Profession, a Strategic Blueprint for Professional Development. As stakeholders in the justice sector, this landmark occasion offers us an opportunity to acknowledge and appreciate purposeful leadership that situates advancement of legal profession at the heart of national development. On this note, I find it indeed deserving to particularly commend my brother, Johnny Agim, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, for this bold intervention that has continued to advance the frontiers of legal profession in Nigeria. The legal world is vast, complex, and dynamic. For those just starting, and even for those of us who have been part of the legal profession for some time now, I have no doubt that the wisdom and guidance of a mentor are invaluable. Today, the legal profession is happy that the foundation has put itself forward to serve as a bridge and ethical guide, helping mentees to navigate the gray areas of legal ethics and instilling a steadfast commitment to justice. Prioritizing mentorship in the legal profession as we are witnessing today underscores the deeper appreciation of the need to work out an enduring foundation for the future of the profession. I am also delighted to learn that this year's edition of the program, in addition to many critical interventions, also seeks to expand sponsorship for final year law students and to further create broader opportunities for aspiring lawyers to attend the Nigerian Law School in the 2025-2026 academic session. For us in the judiciary, this is not merely about technical proficiency, but a strategic affirmation of the need to nurture the intangible qualities essential for a successful legal practice. And we cannot thank the foundation enough for this giant stride. I therefore call on the beneficiaries to take this golden opportunity to learn from the sponsors who have walked this path before, seize this chance to ask questions, seek advice and absorb the experience that would help you in mastering legal arguments and navigating the ethical dilemmas inherent in legal practice. With that said, permit me to end on the note I began by thanking the board of management of Jason Foundation for your manifest dedication and commitment to provide mentorship for younger members of the legal profession. May this program continue to be a resounding success, inspiring and equipping young lawyers for an impactful career and enriching every step of their legal journey. I thank you all for your attention. This is from my Lord, Honorable Justice Baba Yusuf, the Honorable Chief Judge of the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory. Permit me, my Lord, to just make a few remarks on my own. Number one, I believe that a mentor should be humble while mentoring. When law students come to my court for attachment, I welcome them by making a remark, essentially that there's nothing to fear. I assured them that if we are in the same class, assuming they were in the same class with me, many of them would have done better than I did. So I'm not a super judge, no lawyer, super lawyer. Everybody started from that point of coming to the court as a law student on internship from the law school. So that is a way to show, to really show them that indeed you are not exalted, you are not exalting yourself. You are like one of them, and they would have truly done better than some of us if we were in the same class. Secondly, a mentor must be accessible. You cannot be arrogant and expect to be a mentor. You must be accessible. And of course, you must be truthful. And finally, I see a trend going on now in the legal profession. And that's one of the reasons why many lawyers are not staying at the bar. Especially for the senior judges of Nigeria, with the greatest respect. Many of the lawyers go to their chambers or to chambers of some senior lawyers, spend 5 years, 3 years, 4 years there. They have never gone to court one day on their own. Lawyers cannot be reduced to a point carrying bags and books for senior advocates. Now, this is very important because when some of us were practicing before we came to the bench, our seniors will go to court and announce us as my lord, and then say my lord or my worship for this case. My junior will conduct it. Those things are not there now. And of course, as a lawyer, the owner of the case and chambers, you know some mistakes, a stage of the case where mistakes will be made that could correct, that could be remedied. You ask your junior to go and do such cases, and then we must also have meeting of chambers. Thursday or Friday, as we did those days, where you put all the costs, do a cost list for cases of the next week, and then assign the cases to lawyers. Tell them the status of the cases and let them know what the cases are about, what to do and all that, and they come back to report to you. That's how you mentor people. It's not in the abstract. That's why you see lawyers come to court these days with very senior lawyers. Some of them are just disconnected from the case. They don't know what they came for. And so some of them are at the back watching,
Oh my birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday.
He or she is doing what's important to him because they are just watching cartoon or watching film or making one call or another and just like a lawyer in court.
Oh my birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. Oh, I gotta sing up.
At the end of the day, when we should look back and be sure that those who are leaving the profession for are worthy of their calling. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please, another round of applause. Thank you. Well, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I heard that the nest of kin suit the person who made him a nest of kin. And they just asked him why. He said, "My Lord, the way this man is spending, if he dies, there will be nothing left. Please regulate spending so there can be something left for the nest of kin." May I invite the President of the National Industrial Court of Nigeria, the Lord Honorable Justice Benedict Kanye, PhD, UFR, who's represented by Honorable Justice Sobili Emmanuel Danjuma. Please put your hands together for him.
My Lord, Honorable Justice Emmanuel Agim, Justice of the Supreme Court, Your Excellency, the former governor of Cross River State, permit me to stand on the already established protocol. I have decided to reduce my thoughts in writing, so I'm going to read it out. It gives me great pleasure to be given this unique privilege and opportunity to deliver a goodwill message on behalf of the Honorable President of the National Industrial Court of Nigeria, Honorable Justice Benedict Bankwap Kanye, PhD, OFR, at this auspicious occasion. I therefore seize this opportunity to thank the organizers for extending this great gesture, which we take as not only extended to our President, but to the entire NICN family. When the invitation card and the accompanying letter was minuted to me, I tried to make sense of what the Legacy Dialogue 2.0 is all about. And truly, after assimilating the content, my conclusion was simple. John Agim, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, is indeed a true Nigerian and a lawyer who remained true to his calling. From the information available to me, I am meant to understand that today's event is the second in the series. And I can see that the theme of today's dialogue is institutionalization of mentorship in the legal profession, a strategic blueprint for professional development. Let me crave your indulgence to say this one thing. Mentorship in Nigeria's legal profession embodies a philosophical commitment to intergenerational knowledge transfer, ethical stewardship, and communal upliftment, which is deeply rooted in our African tradition of communalism, where individual success cannot be separated from collective progress. It finds expression in such phrases as the Ubuntu philosophy, which is a concept originating from South Africa, emphasizing that I am because we are, meaning an individual's humanity is defined by his relationship and connection with others. The thinking of this dialogue session, I must say, also aligns with the ethos of our lawyers, which states that law school makes them lawyers, but it is mentorship that makes them leaders. My take therefore is that in a profession plagued by political and economic pressures, ethical dilemmas, and gender disparities, mentorship is seen as the bridge between academic theory to practical excellence, thereby fostering a rebirth of nation builders and global advocates. The truth is that in Nigeria's legal landscape, seasoned lawyers have a responsibility to guide the next generation of lawyers by imparting wisdom, experience, and values that transcend the courtroom. The legacy of our senior lawyers must not just be seen in the cases they win in our courtrooms, but in the lives touched and the future legal luminaries they mold. Distinguished participants, my job is done. I rest my case. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We'll take the normal handshake, and then we'll call on the next person to speak. There's a difference between teachers and lawyers. A lawyer sold the well to a teacher. 2 days later, the lawyer came to the teacher and said, "Sir, I only sold the well to you, but not its content, not the water in the well." A few minutes later, the teacher said, "It's no problem. Can you just remove your well so that I can get another? Can you remove your water so that I can go and buy my own water and put it in my well?" Till now, they are still trying to resolve the matter. May I especially appreciate the Director Academics representing the DG Nigerian Law School, Dr. Esa Onoja. Please put your hands together for him. Thank you very much. We are honored to have you. We appreciate you. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, may I invite Mr. Henry More, Director of Legal Services of the ICPC, to do a goodwill message. Please put your hands together for him.
My Lord, here present, to kind permission, may I stand on the already established protocol established by my Lord Justice Hakim, who has just stepped out. I want to thank Johnny Agim for this wonderful initiative of his and the other members of the board. But before I go on, this program is about mentorship. And I just want to tell you, go back in memory, a short story. I remember in 1991 when I was in Nigerian Law School, I did my chamber's attachment in Warri with the law firm of J.O. Nobigbo Okoko & Co. When we were in law school, we were asked to fill in the form on the chamber, they asked my dad then, he said, "Okay, why don't you go to my lawyer's chamber, my friend, Okuko." And I did my chamber with him. 10 of us who did our chamber's attachment with him then. And they were very senior lawyers practicing with him then. But he always took time. And it's almost if he was around, he was in town. For the 4 weeks we spent with him, he took time to talk to us every day, mentored us. And there was one particular story, I want to relate that story to what my Lord Justice Hakim said. We had good lawyers. We had good lawyers, and you know the good lawyers then. And Boko told us a story then that he had a case in Warri in Ughelli High Court. A very serious land matter. That when he went to the court, Boko said when he saw the lawyers in court, he was very confident. He said, "Yes, all these lawyers are not good enough. I'm going to." If any of them, they didn't have that of writing your name down. So he didn't know the lawyer in that case. To say, I'm going to deal with them. If any of them, in this case, I'm in today. So they were waiting, because they got to court early, they were waiting. Then we saw one car come, long Benz. And lo and behold, the person that came down from that Benz was Debo Akonde. He said, Debo Akonde must be in this case. I'm in trouble today. Truly, Debo Akonde was in that case. Because immediately identified that Debo Akonde was in that case, he knew there was trouble. And he said he saw her. And it's all about mentorship. And after my chamber's attachment, I felt inspired me to go into private practice. My 4 weeks I spent to Togo. But along the line, I found myself in government. And but all I learned since inspired me, I still enjoy practice. Even as director of legal ICPC, I still go to court almost on a daily basis. And like my Lord already said, when I go to court to some of my junior lawyers, after national appearance, I said, we come back from my Lord, my learned friend who take charge of proceedings from here. I remember I was in Lagos, before Justice Sulebo retired now. And I said, my Lord, my learned friend who take charge of proceedings from here. And he sought to tender that document. And the NSN advocate on that side raised serious objections. And I said, okay. And I said, no, I just said, but you said your learned friend will take charge of prison from here. And I said, no, sorry, my Lord, I think I will take charge of prison from now. And I responded, luckily the document was admitted. And she now, my Lord, just said, you will take charge of prison from now. No, but I said, yes, my Lord, I will take charge of prison from now. See, but like I said, normally when I go to court with my juniors, after national appearance, I said, I always say, most often, depending on the nature of the case or what we want to do that day, I said, my Lord, you can't permission my learned friend to take charge of proceedings from here. And it gives them the confidence. At times when we draft charges in the office, we go through the charges, I'll tell one of them, you go to court and this is what you do, handle the case. And there was a charge we drafted, Federal High Court, Sokoto, Kebbi. I told him, go and handle this case. With this, we do a better and prove evidence. And he got conviction. And it's built his confidence now. He can go ahead and handle most cases. So, and I want to thank the Johnny Agimesi for the lovely job you are doing. Like, I was in Lagos recently, just this week, to handle the case in Lagos High Court. And my elder sister, she was called back with me in 91. She's in UK practicing. She's a solicitor in UK. Then we had a gate man, Buba. Buba had 2 sons. One, we sponsored him to school. He's a graduate now. Then he was telling Amadou, I saw you opening the gate when I came. We sponsored a brother through school, university. He's working now. Do you want to remain? Do you want to see? Are you still opening the gate like your father? So tell us what you want to do. Now we are ready to sponsor you and assist you. They are from Borno State. I think yes, Borno State. They tell us when your brother is working now as a graduate. Tell us what you want to do and we'll sponsor you. That's all about mentorship. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Please let's clap for him. Next, I am trying to head into the territories of royalty. And I have a problem calling traditional rulers by their name. I remembered introducing one, and I said he's the traditional ruler, and he said to me, my son, if I'm a ruler, then you are either a pencil or a sharpener. When he was leaving, he gave me a Macmillan book, Eze Goes to School, that I should read. But distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, are you aware that Eze no longer goes to school? He's now a graduate. Mr. Salami is no longer a farmer. He's now a politician. Ralia, the sugar girl, now works with Dangote Sugar Refinery. Chike is no longer the river boy. He's now working with CCECC, building bridges over rivers. And in came the fruit of honesty. Is now a traditional ruler. Edet no longer lives in Calabar. He has moved to Canada. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our royal father of the day, the Obong of Calabar, His Eminence Edidem Ekpo Okon Abasi, or to the fifth, the Treaty King, who's represented here today by Air Commodore Chief James Ozok Duke, retired. Please put your hands together for him as he comes up. Please, let's clap for him. That is royalty. If I'm doing an event, the only person I can attract is a native doctor. I can't attract my king. Please clap for him.
Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, my lords, judges, justices, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am Air Commodore James Duke, retired, and a chief in the Obong's Palace. I'm here to represent Edidem Ekpo Okon, who to defeat the Obong of Calabar, Treaty King. Some of our younger ones may be surprised that he's called the Treaty King. He is one of the 8 kings who signed the law amalgamating Nigeria with the British in 1914. He's a believer in the rule of law. Some of you are aware of the litigations he went through. Today, he is our king. I bring to you felicitations from him, particularly to the initiator of the Jason Foundation. Thank you very much. Congratulations for this initiative. It is first of its kind in our country, and as a pioneer, I know the teething problems you're going through. And on this second edition of this foundation, you've gotten more members from 11 mentees to 15 and going up. You continue to expand. I will mention that this initiative is first of its kind in Nigeria and is going to grow in leaps and bounds. I want to add that please extend it to look at the issues of ADR so that we can start decongesting our courts and giving our lawyers less stress and reducing the enmities that emanate after a court pronouncement between the plaintiff and the defendants. Usually after somebody is sentenced to prison, after he's released, I know, he will come, that's the family I had a problem with. I went to jail because of them. They may be from the same community, but that relationship has been ruined by the courts. I don't know how the courts will address it so that communities, individuals, after going to court, they can still be friends. But the solution now within the system, which has not been formalized, is the ADR, Alternative Dispute Resolution. I know a lot of our young lawyers maybe are not aware of this practice, or it is not taught at the university level or at the law school. I think it's something that is worth integrating into our justice administration system to reduce conflict and also to reduce the burden, the stress on our young and improve our legal institution. Mentorship, scholarship, and sponsorship that you have started, these are the 3 main ingredients for professional improvement and growth. And one word can each one says the same thing as the other. It's like repeating the same thing. Mentorship. In mentorship, you find sponsorship and scholarship. In scholarship, you find mentorship and sponsorship. I don't know if anybody agrees with me on that, but it's quite logical. So on that note, I come with peace from His Royal Highness Obon Edidem Epokono to the fifth to this foundation, and want to maintain, the panelists would like to maintain a strong relationship with this foundation. And as you grow in leaps and bounds, we will always be with you all along the way. Thank you very much.
Is a proper round of applause for the Treaty King. It is important that they sign documents. He has shown us that it's something that was done on our behalf many years ago. Thank you very much. I know that there are a few other people who will still speak, but the organizers have asked me that we should allow those key people to speak after the panel. It's important that they hear what we need to say as a panel so that their discussion will inform by what we need to do. I know that people like the Honorable Minister and the former Governor, the most things we need from you, apart from moral support, is also your naira support. So we also need that we're doing some things, and we'll take it. But the panel is a very short panel, and we know that you are able to speak. A lot of things seem to be. Please, let's put our hands together for them. So because of time, we'll just run through panelists and then invite the moderator to come and do what he needs to do. So very quick, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to invite one who is the founder and principal partner of Parazim Law Partners, where she has built a distinguished practice in litigation, corporate advisory, and dispute resolution. With over a decade of experience, she has led teams through complex corporate battles and also help make sure that what we need done is done. Before founding her practice, she spent 17 years as counsel at the distinguished firm of Onyechibazu SAN and many others. Please let's welcome principal partner of Parazim Law Partners, Mrs. Priska Enodoka, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Please clap for her as she comes up. Also on this panel, I had to introduce him earlier, but very quietly, and he has been sitting at the back saying he doesn't want to be mentioned. We actually have seen him practice law many years with elegance and grace in Abuja here. Many of us also have seen him work in various capacities, both for politician, as a politician, for candidates and as a candidate. But his professional journey spans diverse areas of legal practice, governance, public service, distinguishing him as an accomplished arbitrator, unionist, civil rights activist, and educator, also apart from being a researcher. He also served as a diocesan registrar of the Anglican Communion Church of Nigeria, where he oversees his legal affairs. In 2023, he was conferred with the highest national honors of Officer of the Order of the Niger by President Muhammadu Buhari. Permit me therefore to invite Dr. Kayode Ajulo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, OON, who is also Commissioner of Justice, Ondo State. The Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice, Ondo State, has been sitting quietly at the back. Please put your hands together for him. We actually loaned him to Ondo State. As soon as he's done either 8 or 16 years, I'm sure he'll come back to Abuja. Please clap for him. We also have with us Professor Issa Hayatu Chiroma, SAN, Nigerian legal practitioner and astute professor of law, the Director General of the Nigerian Law School, who's represented here by the Director of Academics of the Nigerian Law School, Dr. Issa Onoja. Please put your hands together for him. So also on this panel, we have the one who had spoken to us before. In April, well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure we're still together. Our sound people, can we work on this microphone, please? Thank you. In April 2022, she was appointed as judge of Federal High Court of Nigeria. Prior to her appointment, she served diligently as magistrate and district court judge with the FC. All right, please can we clap for our technical team? They're doing a good job. They just came back from South Africa where they went to do a training, so they're just testing the equipment. May I especially welcome may I invite my Lord Justice Mabel Tai Shegun Bello to join us on the panel. Thank you very much, ma'am. We're honored to have you. So, ladies and gentlemen, before I'll therefore want to invite the moderator who probably take a seat. Hello. So, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to invite a senior advocate of Nigeria, a partner at Baldrick Bosimo and Company, a former Attorney General of Delta State, who has influenced commercial arbitration and dispute resolution across Africa. He represents government bodies, corporations, and individuals in commercial disputes, specializing in arbitration and other resolution mechanisms, both locally and internationally. Let's welcome Mr. Isaiah Bosimo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Please clap for him. Well, thank you very much. Please can we clap for the panel? So while we are waiting for the panel to settle in, hello. All right. While we're waiting for the panel to settle in, we will take a very quick message from one who is a professor, but a special kind of professor because he understands profession properly. He's also been a former governor and has done well even as a former governor. He's also been a mentor for many as a politician because it's not easy to be a politician and instead of sending your name, you send other people's name and when you also are qualified for that position. But distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, he's done that and very well so. So ladies and gentlemen, he has a very signature way of calling his budget every year. And each year, Nigeria gets a new word for a budget when he was governor. We miss those days, those years. So ladies and gentlemen, may I especially welcome one who is our friend, is a former governor. Now this is how we put it. Somebody has described him as Cross River itself, deep, steady, and ceaseless in flow because of his eloquence. His journey in law or his journey in life has carved his own banks through the time and service. Born of Ogoja's red earth and nurtured in the quiet discipline of the courtroom. He began his voyage as secretary. He also moved on to become chairman. He stood as both advocate and anchor to the people. Ladies and gentlemen, is different. He is one who has transformed what it is like to be a governor, not only by language, not only by friendship, not only by his position, but the deeds that he did for the people. His projects are still being named and his works still being celebrated. So distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, may I therefore invite Professor Ben Ayade to speak to us right about now. Please clap for him as he comes up.
Thank you very much. Justice of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, Justice Agim, my own brother, S.N. Johnson, on whose honor we're here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the first time I find myself in a gathering of literature coming out of the political setting to a fairly academic setting yet again. Let me especially acknowledge the brilliance, the diction, the knowledge, and presentation that was made by Justice. Honestly speaking, I wonder why she should be in the bench. She should be in the classroom. She should indeed be in a classroom, because passing that level of knowledge, dissecting the complex relationship between a mentor and a mentee, synthesizing and synchronizing and showing the relativity, the point of conflict and departure between the class division, between the young and the old. That curvature, that conflict has shown its consistency in the dysfunctional necrosis that we have found in society today. Whether you like it or not, what we find in our society today represents the very major deficiency we find, where people suffer from extreme ambition to either grow so prosperous that they lost the essence of the profession. Mentorship is a physical guidance. It requires complete connection with the person who is mentoring. If we continue the way we are going in the society, where the desperation for materialistic acquisition overrides essence, overrides moral Kantianics, what we will find is a desperate society. And therefore this topic is very apt. And that gives me the patience to listen to this point. I want to actually encourage our presenter to please, really like Justice Agim have said, convert this to a proper pamphlet for circulation. I like to support disruption. In supporting, I support it with totality of being, because I do realize that to have this number of mentees that you're going to be growing, you will need some support. And I don't know whether it's appropriate to announce that kind of support at this point in time. Perhaps I need to wish that to Justice Agim. But sincerely, my heart goes with you. The philosophy and essence, like Justice Agim said, is pursuit of improvement of mankind. No matter what you do, no matter how much money you have, or how well dressed you can be, whatever it is, the whole essence of life is adding value to humanity. As soon as you drift from that purpose, you become just not different from an animal. And what's the difference between us and mankind? What's the difference between mankind and animal? It's the ability to have conscience. when you don't have conscience, when your ethics, when the moral parameter is gone, what are you mentoring? You mentoring somebody with just mere knowledge, intellectual knowledge, legal knowledge is nothing. It does not justify a good just judgment unless there's a conscience behind it. And that's why in law, we believe in common law, we believe in equity, we believe in justice, we believe in the jurisprudence of what is fair and what is repugnant to common justice. It is indeed unacceptable what happens in society today, where people have lost what makes you human. When you have an accident on the road, people rush into the scene, not to rescue, but to see what they can scavenge. When you find that level of animalism creeping into humanity, mentorship is gone, it's lost. And to go back to the very essence of society today, I'm agreeing and submitting totally that mentorship is the foundation for the moral rectitude of Nigeria. And to be able to correct and give Nigeria a proper direction, we need the older generation who were schooled in a proper tradition to actually help the young ones to realize that beyond all the physical materialism, the true value of life is when you begin to provide a shoulder for your weaker brother to lean on. To that extent, I want to also ask that you see me for a private whisper. No, I want to whisper to him that I have a very nice support for you and for your foundation so that you can carry this journey forward. Thank you and God bless.
Please put your hands together for His Excellency. It was the New York Times who described him as saying, to encounter Professor Ayade is to step into the vortex of hyper-intellectual combustion in the thermodynamics of human potential. Of course, he has had... Sir, just before you leave, sir, can I ask one more thing? That we just take a group picture with all those who are in front here. You cannot come here and not be in our picture. We'll use it for our next year's album. Please, those in our Melons, can we just join and just take a picture? Royal Father, let's just take that picture quickly. My Lord. This picture is very important. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for staying a little for that picture. We are honored to have you. Your people benefited from the budget of the deep vision to the budget of infinite transposition. And then we had the budget of kinetic crystallization. A professor of environmental microbiology is not easy not to have a new name for a new parasite. For a new budget. All professors in the world describe him as a professor of possibilities. Please put your hands together for him. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate him. Turned governance into grammar and grammar into vision, who believe that when human mind attains metaphysical equilibrium, even the whisper of faith can become a symphony of success. Please put your hands together for him. Thank you very much. Let's appreciate him, please. Please, for the rest of us who are at the back, can we just move to the front? Those seats, let's just move to the front. Let's move. From here, it looks like we are waiting for some people. They can't meet us again. Please just move. Make sure there's no empty seat in front of you. You can avoid the white chairs, no problem. But at least move to the front. Make sure there's no empty seat in front of you. I've just been told that the governor of Cross River State sent him some souvenirs, but they did not count the people in this hall before sending them. So we may not be able to go around, but we'll start sharing from the front. So I'll ask that you just move. Thank you. Thank you. If somebody is sitting at the back and they don't know, just tell them it's you the MC is talking about. It's a better view now as we're moving. And so, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, permit me at this point to invite a stalwart, essential sentinel of justice, where he navigates the intricate corridors of commercial arbitration and dispute resolution with the precision of a seasoned litigator. Let's welcome partner Broderick Bozimo and Company, our lead moderator for today, Mr. Isaiah Bozimo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, and our moderator will take charge. Please put your hands together for him.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ben, for those very kind and generous words. My Lord, please permit me to stand on the existing protocol. I would also like to add my thanks to Johnny Agin, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, for convening this dialogue. And I don't think it would be out of place to describe this discussion as almost existential. My Lord, in giving your Lordship's opening remarks, your Lordship did say that a profession that fails to bring up the next generation is one that is in trouble. And I think that is the depth of the discussion we're having today. Because we often like to hold ourselves out as the noble profession, the learned profession. But there is certain conduct from members of the same profession that betrays the trust that the public holds in us. So I think we need to hold ourselves to a much higher standard, and certainly mentorship is one way we can achieve that. And my Lord, if I may start this discussion with you. We heard, for instance, my Lord, the Honorable the Chief Justice, earlier this year, describe what we all acknowledge as declining standards at the bar. And we've seen very many senior advocates say the same thing. And many of those failings will not start in the courtroom. It will start much earlier than that, and it could be a function of this lack of mentorship, this lack of training that we see. So, my Lord, from the perspective of the bench, what practical steps do you think that judges, perhaps even in collaboration with senior lawyers, can take to rebuild this culture of mentorship that restores discipline and professionalism to this profession?
Well, thank you, Planet Silk. That's so many questions rolled into one. I know we're pressed for time. So, well, I agree with you. I did hear that comment as well, of that ethical gap and ethical lapse that we're having in recent time. And like I said when I was delivering my keynote address, these gaps did not come out of malice. These gaps also did not come because younger judges, younger lawyers, the younger generation have decided not to learn. It is a cultural deficit. Cultural deficit in the sense that culture of mentorship, that culture of mentorship is lacking. Now, like I said earlier, the generational the generational kind of rift that exists also widens that gap. It widens that gap. And this is the reason why we're having the conversation on how do we now institutionalize mentorship such that one person is peer to another, they are giving guided guidance, and they are giving guided and structured guidance, they are tutored in ways, and then they have someone to model after. They are looking at them, they are looking at
Usually when we get into chambers, I will sit in front of her and she'll be telling me, do you see the case we did that? This one is NGIC. This one, this is how you handle. These are the rules. Because for every thematic area in the federal court, there are rules. You know, these are the rules that we use in handling these cases. I was expecting her to mention that one. That one that I was teaching her. She didn't. And then I brought it up. I said, Ma, they were holy. They were holy. I will give them a piece of my mind. He said, and exactly that is how you will enter trouble. She said, did you notice that all I asked in court was a question and they all kept quiet? I said, yes. But before you asked that question, they were saying, wait. I asked the question and they kept quiet. It is called judicial restraint. If you answer them the way they are talking to you, you have given them a template. For one, you descending into the arena. Two, they writing the petition to the ministry. He said, all I ask. I hope you do. No, you learn it by observation. You learn it by looking at. Since that time, the manner of restraint that I bring to bear stems from that understanding and that picture that I have. And sometimes I even ask myself, how will Mama handle this situation? And then I will look at it. So you see, even though we have technological advancement, this idea of sitting across a ceiling to learn from them is extremely critical. Extremely vital. So some of us overuse it. And that's what this information is. Thank you.
Be an organogram Now that organogram is fashioned after a bar bench coordination. So I propose that it should be headed by a convicting justice, or better still, a Supreme Court justice. That might be too far-fetched. A convicting justice, because we have more on the field than the Supreme Court justices. I also propose that at some layers of it, we will have female representatives from the bench. That's the area of inclusivity. So there's no way we can go about bench when it comes to this idea of mentorship and institutionalization of policy. You must be, after all, the role of your craft in the course.
But when it comes to real lawyering, your craft is displayed in the court. You don't know how to address the court, you are dead on arrival. So there must be an inclusion of the bench.
My Lord, thank you very much indeed. I'm sure that officials from the Jason Foundation are taking notes in terms of putting together a communique after this event. Dr. Noja, I'd like to come to you next, if I may. I remember when I was called to the Nigerian bar, and I started working in the chambers of Patrick Kweto, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. And I will admit, for the first weeks or so, I felt out of my depth. There was this huge gap between what I felt I knew in law school and what practice confronted me with. And that was even pronounced even more when I started appearing in courts. I remember, my Lord may not remember that I had a matter before my Lord Justice Origi, which was a baptism of fire. But it made me a better lawyer. Now, I often also see when young lawyers graduate from Nigerian law school, they tend to struggle in those formative years, not because of a want of intellect, but because of this lack of guidance. And I'm aware you're involved, for instance, in the law school externship program. But beyond that, do you foresee, or do you think it's feasible to have a system where a bar part 2 student is, for instance, paired with a senior member of the bar, or paired with a branch of the Nigerian Bar Association, that then takes on this mentorship role for them while they're in law school and then beyond, those early formative years? Or do you see some other form of a system, a hand-holding system, so they don't feel as lost when they enter the profession?
Thank you very much. So much to say. Your question is loaded in the sense that through my working life at the Nigerian Law School, I've encountered different phases of possible integration of mentorship. Now, currently, what obtains at the Nigerian Law School is typically every session, students after registration, they are divided into groups. So each lecturer has a group of students that he or she is expected to mentor. This session, I have about 140 students in my mentorship group. There is the lecturer's perception of mentorship and the student's perception of mentorship. The student perception of mentorship is to guide them to navigate the bar part 2 final examinations. But the lecturer sees more than the bar part 2. He sees that the students after call to bar, they are going into a market, a very competitive market. They are going into an ecosystem where there are lots of expectations of legal practitioners. So sometimes you find some kind of tension between the student's expectation and the lecturer's expectation. And then there's the problem of the number of externs that, students that each lecturer is expected to mentor. When you have 140, you find that except the few confident ones, most don't come to you at all. They prefer to sort themselves out. But the few who come, you have the opportunity to interact with them. Then the second phase of mentorship at the Nigerian Law School is the externship program. I've coordinated that program for a good number of years. Their lordships and your worships, you've helped us a great deal in spite of the number that we inundate you with. But often students come back and they tell you that before this court, the judge or the magistrate told them that in this matter, if they were to write the judgment, what would be their view? Sometimes the judges, the magistrates urge them to put their judgment in writing. And for students who are given such an opportunity, it can be very encouraging, can be very life-changing. So the courts on that, despite, again, and I'm apologizing on behalf of the law school, the number that we have to work with at the law school, the number that we post, they help in that regard. For the law office placement, we call it placement, there's the positive and the negative. 2 days ago, I went to one of the biggest law firms in Abuja here to represent the DJ. And that firm, they have an annual program, annual mute and court, mute and mock competition. And both before, during, and after, you could see the students' engagement, their interest. And the principal of the firm also spoke to us about what they do in chambers to encourage the externs. As a matter of fact, that mock trial was presided by a judge of the FCT High Court. So the courtroom, the aura of the courtroom was present. The other aspect is what I would say is not so positive because externs come back to law school and during portfolio assessment, some say 5 days in a week. The law firm told them that they could stay away for 3 days and come only 2 days. And those 2 days, when they come to the firm, they are told to go to the library to read. So you find that in some firms, there's not much engagement with the externs. In 1991, when I did my own externship, I did it in Jos Plateau State. And occasionally they would take us to court outside Jos Town. I recall that I attended the Chief Magistrate Court in Wase. So it built my interest. Although I'm in academia and I practiced for 12 years before I joined the teaching faculty. So there are so many stages that the profession can take advantage of. Concerning attaching current students of the Nigerian Law School to chambers, there have been advocacy for the extension of the period students spend at the law school to 2 years. Unfortunately, in most cases, the bar has always resisted it. But if the period was extended to 2 years, you could say the last year before your bar final be attached to a firm. I think that will be enriching, and it will advance the course of the profession. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Doctor, it was interesting to hear you speak of both the positives and the negatives as well. And to me, that showed this gap between good intentions, good policies, and implementation. And I think that's a good segue to Dr. Ajulo. You wear many caps, Leonard Silk, but I'd like to speak to you in your capacity as chair of the MBA Mentorship Committee. And you are chair at a very opportune time because the bar itself is under scrutiny, and quite rightly so. So the question is, how do we change these good intentions into actual governance, into results? So could you tell us, 2 questions for you. Could you tell us, firstly, is the MBA considering any programs to formalize mentorship, to actually make it measurable and standard across all branches? And to the extent that it is, how quickly can we see it, and who will take ownership of it to implement?
Well, thank you very much. Let me first this opportunity, if I'm allowed, to commend and to thank my brother, Johnny with letter H. I give him Senior Advocate of Nigeria for this thoughtfulness. This is something that we should all encourage, and we are talking of mentorship, and I must say, he has, with this, even mentored me, and I thank you. My noble lords, I happen to be the pioneer chairman of the mentorship committee of the MBAs, and that one means that this is the first of its kind among we Nigerian lawyers. And thank you. And the essence of it basically is because of what you mentioned, the TED, the trust issue, the ethical and all that, that it made the president of the bar, that's Mazi Alpha Sigwe, called me and we discussed about it. As God will have it, he happened to be my mentors too, because I remember the doctor mentioned while in law school at internship. I did internship at Chike Chikwe, where he was even he was doing his compulsory national service. And I remember we mentioned that. I remember we talked about in law school we were only taught this formal education, knowing the knowledge of law. But when it comes to the other aspect of it, it is between you and God. And that's why you see there's some brilliant lawyers, when it comes to being an entrepreneur, starting their law firm, they always have a problem because, everything is bookish, let me use the word. And that is why we make this. And I think I need to make something again. When we talk about institutionalizing mentorship, now the issue is a key word, mentoring and mentorship. Mentoring, it is informal one. The mentorship is institutionalizing the mentoring, and we need to understand that. And what if I think we did not read it, that thing did not really sink very well. Mentoring, we have mentorship. Mentoring is maybe informal one, the way I can come to see my Lord Origi, and I think I must thank you, sir, my Lord Origi. I remember as a young lawyer, and I'm still a young lawyer, that was the day my Lord called me into his office and said, I want you to do this matter. And when I made some little money and said, my Lord, this, I said, no, that is my own way of trying to set you up. Thank you, sir. I think I must mention that. So, mentoring, but when it comes to, we want to institutionalize the mentoring, and that's where we have the mentorship. So I think we need to get that. And what we are planning to do, it's quite huge something that we're trying gradually. We had our inaugural meeting some month back, and we think of issue that what the law school has been doing in where some people will have their internship. We believe that internship, do it be in another way, will be in perpetuity. In a way where that some law firm and some lawyers, I remember I mentioned something about our ancestors and our mentors. We even think of having where some people will be designated as a live mentor. We have maybe senior mentor, super mentor, And one of the things we propose is that those that made the mark, that they've accomplished, maybe the senior advocate, will be thinking of making them like we have the life benchers, we have life mentor. And the essence, basically, is to even designate some people. Like I remember you go to some university in the UK, they will write, maybe you see some list of the universities that all those medical students that are there. We are planning that. So huge, not something that will happen in a day, but we're really moving and we are moving. And now let me quickly, this is not a form of maybe want to digress. The essence of mentorship or mentoring, let me use it. It is something that is innate in any profession. Like I mentioned to one of my friends when we were talking, it's even in politics, though we call it godfathers, and godfather can override. Because you need someone that will teach you, that will let you learn the rope. It is like a mother having a new son growing, or new daughter growing 6 months, 3 months. There's a way you need to take the steps. Without someone, you find that research have even made that where a young baby is being left without being unattended to, about 12 of them, and within a certain age, all of them died. Honestly, it has been proven. But where you have someone talking to them, even mere talking, stroking them, you find out that most lived. It's the same thing. People are being, I won't call it being unfortunate. Now let me use myself as one of the example. I remember I came to Abuja, being a rookie lawyer, and I think I need to say that I happen to be the first lawyer in my generation, in my family, in my street, even in my town. And you know what it takes, nobody to treat. But one thing I learned is to try to list all those I would like to be like, the likes of Rotimi Williams, all of that. I think I have about 13 then. And I made it a point of duty that I must meet them, I must appear in court with them without paying a penny. And it pays off, honestly. Honestly, it is, though we can call that one some sort of mentoring, informal one, but now we're institutionalizing it. There must be a time that whatsoever you do will be marked. Recently, the last time we have one at the NBA National Secretariat there, I have to ask the president that there must be a way to assess that whosoever that attends that must have some GP, we call it GPAs, that you have some point. I think that is about 2 or 3 points. And gradually we'll be doing that. And I think what is happening today, I will beg the leadership of this foundation to contact the MBA so that it can be part of the continuous assessment program. Because today, I've even learned as a lawyer, all the whiles I've been seeing my Lord Justice Akim. But as a practicing lawyer, the only thing we used to do is to look at the list of the panel. One, my Lord Justice Akim is there. What we need to do is to go into fasting and prayer. That my Lord should not have anything to say about you. Praying, please, God, don't allow my Lord Justice Akim to say anything. Because whenever he I'm sorry. Because whenever my Lord make any observation, just by me saying, oh, Mr. Julo, look at page 53, you know you are gone. Oh, this is the end of it. But today, without praying, my Lord made 2 or 3 submissions and I was really wowed. And those are the things, those are the real mentoring. And I believe this should be part of what should be think of. There must be a way to assess every lawyer who to attend must have a point, at least 2 or 1. And with that, next one, a lot of will be doing. Because the essence is for us. It is not gone are the days when your father have to be a senior advocate or a judge before you make it in this business. That to me, I see it more as informal one. But now, whether irrespective of your state of birth, your color, where you're coming from, where you're coming from, my village, like where I'm coming from, you can get to where you are because the same dots, the same boxes will be so ticked by institutionalizing it, and that's what we're doing. And I think I've been talking, and that was so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ajila. I think those are very commendable initiatives, and I would commend my Lord's book, particularly on the life cycle of these programs to ensure sustainability. It's something that we really need to ensure that these are not just good ideas on paper, but good ideas actually living out and has a measurable impact on the profession. So thank you very much for those insights. Learned Silk, Mrs. Doka, let me come to you next. I know that you were under the tutelage of Dr. Onyeti Ikpeazu, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, and I know the benefit of that, having been under the tutelage myself. What we enjoy as young lawyers, make it part and parcel of the practice of a young practitioner.
Thank you, for that question. And so the thing is that, yes, I personally am a product of mentorship, good mentorship. It is not only that I worked with Dr. Onyeti Ikpeazu and he mentored me, even up to now, as a matter of fact, yesterday I was in his office because I had some questions. And then I had to, ask him, and then he sat down, and then he taught me something. So mentoring with him is an ongoing taught me something. So mentoring with him is an ongoing thing. Someone I can call. When they come to us, and then we take those opportunities to teach them. Then those of them who are not really hungry are left out, if you know what I mean. But that should change. And I think that because, when lecturers come to the class to lecture, they don't only teach people who the hungry students or those person. Then there should also be like a curriculum. There should be a curriculum, so there should be learning sessions. So it shouldn't just be, oh, okay, I just stumbled into my boss and then I just asked a question and then I got knowledge. So there should be particular times, okay, maybe Fridays, maybe Wednesdays, maybe Tuesdays, but each mentor-mentee who are paired should have particular times, which the law firm as an institution or something. Now, their questions revive that. Their questions sometimes may make you go back and then learn those things. Another thing is that there is something about this new generation or new wave of lawyers. They know the AIs, they know the ITs. These are things that we didn't know during our own time. In short, it was a very young lawyer that I know ChatGPT and all those things, that the ones that teach me. Sure, one is even teaching me how to even, model one. So they are that bright. Now, if you don't have those sessions with them, you don't know. So we have to let them know that they are bringing something to the table, that responsibility. So when they are coming to that mentor-mentee session, they are not just coming to receive. They are also coming to bring to the table. So I look at it this way: the mentor, and then on the part of the mentee, and then that will help the law. So those are yes.
Thank you so very much. I think it's extremely important, and it's a very valuable lesson I myself learned. Legal teams with Damian Yododo. If you're on a team with him, he will expect you to say something on the case.
Let's invite the Leonard Silk and our president to join them for this picture. Our panelists, thank you very much. Please put your hands together for the panelists. After the picture, the awardees will set the panelists for a little appreciation. Thank you very much. Please put your hands together for them. This one is for Professor Isa Hayatu Chidoroma, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Is represented here. The next, Kayode Ajo ON, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Honorable Commissioner. I will plead the moderator to this position to President Dr. SAN. Thank you very much, sir. And of course, everyone want to come. Very Nigerian and very foreign too. Mr. Isaiah was the most senior advocate of Nigeria. So may I invite the representative of Lord Honorable Justice AJMBA called JSC retired, to me to understand that the son was here with us. Please put your hands together, please. All right, so we'll give to the so we'll take another picture with the plaques. Just to tell you that this flag is a sign of appreciation from all of us. I also advise that to take a look at the flag so you also not upside. Good to smile and smile. Thank you very much. Please put your hands together for them. We appreciate you, our moderators, our panelists. Thank you for leaving this session to be with us today. All right, may I invite the Lord Honorable Justice S.C. to do us the honors. Please put your hands together for him as he comes to say a few words.
All right, this is essentially for in their request to the Honorable Chief Judge for the of court, with regards to this as a matter of practice and routine. Judges say that.
Thank you, my Lord. Thank you, my Lord.
Thank you very much. Please put your hands together for that new membership. Well, coming up next is discussions around, we'll be announcing, of course, the winners for the Legacy 500 Elite Scholarship Program. When we started this discussion, we talked about call for application, which commenced on the 9th of September. That's birthday of President and founder. Hello, please be seated. Thank you very much. I see very quickly we'll do this. May I invite Mr. Chinua Asuzu to come and do us the honor of announcing the winners. Please put your hands together for him. It's very important, and this man is the only man who has seen this result. If the position for INEC chairman was still vacant, we'll have recommended him. Please put your hands together for him.
Good afternoon, everyone. If you have permit me to say a few words about the struggles with and this question of mentorship, I'm addressing the last young lawyer who believe coming to meet senior lawyer who mentor them. You expect them to know, you expect them to be more ethical to be leaders. Unfortunately, many senior lawyers don't know law. Many senior lawyers don't know what they're doing. So you have to be very careful when asking mentor. You have to be extremely careful and pay close attention. Do your own research. I'll give you what we have. Law. Not people. You are often here with law reports. For example, NWLR. And even law reports. When you see a case reported in law report, you see narrative, right? You see hell. Under hell, see one, 2, 3, 4. Please, those paragraphs, those paragraphs under hell are not the ratio then the case. Don't call them ratio 2. Some very similar do that. And some judges do that. They're not and then one of the things that you also know, even if you use them for what they are meant for, which is to go and find out what's happening. Be careful that what you are looking at is what the judge is saying as is concluding the analysis, as is making decision, not why repeating this argument. So much blood flows away to our system. Because of this problem of ratio 1, ratio 2. You can see the law. So you have to be very careful. That's kind of maybe a head note lawyer. They know what you're talking about. So when I was if you appear before me and say what they decided, decide now. The court don't speaking. It's not the court that's speaking under hell. That's not court. It's not reporter. So I have to say that it's very important. Second point I want to make is I noticed that a lot of law students write their name backward. I don't understand how you write it. My name is Chinua Asuzu, not Asuzu. So we had Ahmad Bello, Nnamdi Azikiwe, unless a form or platform or medium constrains you, first name first and last name last. Some of our readers here, they're not going backward. I don't know what the question is. The problem. Ugochukwu Chineke, Esho, Oprom Anayo Munachide, Emmanuel Okorie, and Abigail Edith Philip. 9 people are going to get full tuition scholarship from Johnny Agin Foundation. So we salute them. Thank you very much. Yeah.
All right, we'll just just ask you to come and say yes. I'll just make a presentation to him. Yes. Go to the video, sir. You have done a good job.
Let me say that Mr. Chima Suzu is a writer. How many of us have heard of the Right House? Okay. Do we have lawyers who have read the book here, Brief Writing? This is the author, and this is the dean of the faculty of the Right House. So please, in fact, when I spoke with him a couple of weeks back, I told him, I said in 2011, I attended one of his workshops, changed my mindset to brief writing. Trust me. So please, we are privileged to have Mr. Chima Suzu as one of our judges. Thank you very much. And on behalf of Jessan Foundation, we present this to you as a legacy 500. Present this to you as a legacy 500 competition judge. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Just a caveat to be able to inform you that he's a judge of the competition, not a judge of judges in this Supreme Court, in the panel, and he's representing all 5 of them. Please put your hands together for him. It's coming one.
And then going to the legal profession fully, and then going to make my own impact, and then I also want to thank the JC Foundation for giving me this purpose, and this financial support. It is more than just it is more than financial support, but it has given me a purpose, and it is a way for me to give back to my community as a lawyer. As a lawyer and also an advocate for the deaf community and disability community.
All right, let's appreciate him. Thank you very much. Thank you. Congratulations. You know, he got a lot of money last year, but he has used it. If you want to support him, you can also support him. He's using it well. Clap for him, please. So are you asking him if he has money? Eh? So ladies and gentlemen, just to inform you that the sponsorship amount is 1.1 million naira for each of these 9 people we have called out today. 1.1 million naira, and we will cover their tuition at the Nigerian Law School. I'm sure if you feel like getting involved, you can also go and apply. I don't know whether it will apply if you have to spill over to the next year. You know, I was taking my child to school, preschool in fact, is crèche, and they told me it's 1 million naira. After some time, they say the child failed, and they say I have to promote him. Except you want to give him scholarship. How can he fail in crèche? What are they doing? Just watching cartoon, you will fail. This guy knows how to watch TV now. He can change all the channel. But please, let's clap for this foundation for doing a good job. Thank you. To give 1.1 million naira at this time is not easy. It's not. I'm sure some of you are thinking, why is it not my time when I was in law school? Leave it for next time. But what we are going to do is, did we show the checks? Did we see them? Media, please show the checks again. Can you see it? This is huge. 1.1 million. I can't even cash it one. Sent my brother his school fees. Sent it to his OPay. Immediately I told him, he started crying. I said, what's the problem? He said, Uncle, if you know how much I'm going OPay. We don't use that account. So please, those of you who are getting this money, tell them the account to pay into. Let them not go and pay into your OPay and you have half of the money. But we will, at this point, go to tell you that the next phase for us is the future. You've seen what we have done. You've seen where we are. But for us, the future is digital. It's changing. And we have one man who's been working like the modern day Mark, as it were. He's our own Nigerian tech guru. He's been able to understand everything around technology and AI. That's how I was trying to open email. The AI is asking me, I should confirm if I'm a human being. AI is asking me a question. I will ask him that question. Why should AI ask me? I'm the one who is supposed to ask AI, what are you? Because I don't even know what you are. But this man has worked hard to build a platform where our mentors and our mentees will interact in a very safe space, very confidential discussions. So we are moving it away from just analog to digital, and that's the future of mentorship. So distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the founder, technology policy advocacy, and vice chair of the MBA SBL Technology Community.
Has seen several key achievements, including, amongst others, the launch of the 1 billion naira endowment fund for legal education, sponsorship and scholarship, the award of scholarships to 11 exceptional young lawyers under the flagship initiative, the hashtag Legacy 500 elite sponsorship and scholarship program. Each beneficiary represents a promise, a seed of
just the basic dashboard of a mentee. And if you can see up, also it's a two-way kind of platform for both the mentee and mentor. So you can have conversation, the mentor can have conversation with the mentee, share documents, share links, and everything is behind the secure platform. The admin has an eyes on everything that is happening. You can see how many applications is pending, how many applications has been approved, they move from an applicant to a mentee. You can also see how many mentee and mentor have been paired, and you can see all total number of applications. Next slide. Yes, so again, just because I covered the picture of everyone that's applied and everyone that is on this platform. It shows you the details, it shows you all the activities that is going on. Next slide. Yes, so this also shows you, so a mentor can have about 10 or 15 mentees, and this shows you the number of mentors assigned, the number of mentees assigned to a mentor. This is just an overview of all the activities that is happening.
The video now, please. Is it ready?
Empowering lawyers from 1 to 10 in the ever-evolving landscape of the Nigerian legal profession, where excellence in the ever-evolving landscape of the Nigerian legal profession, where excellence is both a tradition and a pursuit. One vision stands tall. Jasin Foundation, building a lasting legacy. Founded by Mr. Johnny Agim San, the foundation is more than a commitment to law. It is a legacy of mentorship, sponsorship, reforms, advocacy, of service, and of the deliberate shaping of tomorrow's leaders. Officially launched 13 September 2024 with purposeful engagement, nurturing a new generation of lawyers through its program of mentorship, sponsorship, reforms, and advocacy, MSRA Blueprint, has seen the achievements, including, amongst others, the launch of the 1 billion naira endowment fund for legal education, sponsorship, and scholarship, the award of scholarships to 11 exceptional young lawyers under the flagship initiative, the hashtag Legacy 500 elite sponsorship and scholarship program. Each beneficiary represents a promise, a seed of potential, destined to become an institutional pillar of the profession. And it continues framing the future by building a structured path to excellence and integrity, because true greatness in the bar depends on the quality of its next generation. In 2025, the foundation, a bold step forward. As the story expands on, stands one man's vision, Mr. Johnny Agim San. Through the Jason Foundation, his message of professionalism, excellence, integrity, and building transgenerational institutions will transcend time. True greatness is not achieved alone. It is built together. Jason Foundation, building a lasting legacy, building excellence, inspiring purpose, one lawyer at a time, making history, framing the future.
I think it's a good place to clap. Ladies and gentlemen, the story was told about a woman. His father told her that he wanted to do a party to celebrate. And for me, you are those people. And for me, you are those people. You came early, you stayed here, and you stayed till the end. So you did not just come to party, you came to show love, to show support, and I'll say thank you very much for coming. But there's somebody who will want to say thank you very much for coming. But there's somebody who will want to tell us really, really, thank you. He's a lawyer with a gold heart, a generous silk, a mentor, one whose lapel is laced with legacy, leadership, and mentorship. Let's welcome President of Jason Foundation, Mr. Johnny Agim.
By 1:30 we'll be out of here. But it is almost to 4, and some of you are still here. So please thank you for waiting till the very end. And before we go, there's a book, the book that my Lord, the Honorable Justice Mabel Shegun-Bello wrote. Incidentally, the topic, the title of the book is actually just 500. But you can hear when the director from law school was giving his remark that 10 persons to one lecturer is a bit of a challenge. And what we plan to do, and the faculty of this mentorship is that we'll be paying not more than 10 persons mentees to a mentor. That way we can track the progress. The mentors will have time for their other busy schedule while still allotting time to our mentees. And then
Park for you when you go out through this entrance, through this exit point. Let's come to the front. Everybody, please come. Let's take a picture. Just join them here, join them in front there, join them there. We don't know whether they'll use this picture to pick people who will benefit. I will recommend to the board that they should check this picture when they are picking people. Thank you very much. Photographer, I see ovation style.